What's the deal, YouTube? It's your boy Zach, back with another one, man. And man, I just wanted to give some tidbits, tricks, and some tips that I've learned from my short time out here on the road solo. So I am a rookie driver. I've been solo for a couple of weeks now, and man, it's crazy how much you can learn in a short period of time, man. So stay tuned to this video and we'll have more. All right, man. So first thing I just wanted to let you guys know is, when you're out here on the road or just in life in general, always make sure to be prepared. Man, I had a load that went to Kansas and Missouri, and I reside in Texas. And the craziest thing is that, when you're living somewhere, you think that, you kind of get used to the weather patterns, and oh, it's cold, oh, it's hot, oh, it's rainy, oh, it's sunny, whatever. And, when you're traveling, even within a 10-hour period, those things could change dramatically based on where you're going. And so I was headed up to Kansas and Missouri, and man, they had just got hit by like some crazy snow. I asked the residents there, they said that's not normal for the time period. And had I not been prepared fully, that could have ended up bad for me, or it could have led me to be late, or it could have led me to have some difficulties that I did not foresee. So that's one thing that I've learned just in this short period of time. Always make sure you're checking the weather, planning your trip ahead, and just being prepared. Next thing, kind of along with being prepared, but this is more so in terms of knowing your truck. I recently just got a new truck, so this will be my truck going forward. Before I was in another person's truck, and then before that I was in training. And so I left the truck at the yard, went home, came back, expecting to just hop in and get going. And man, there was water everywhere. Like, not really on the driver's side, but passenger dash, passenger floorboard, passenger seat, in my cup holders. I mean, it was crazy. And that was something I did not even think about. Like, anything could be wrong with the truck or whatever. So I told my supervisor about it. They scheduled me a time with the mechanic. The mechanic scheduled me a time with the glass guy, because they thought it was a leak in my seal on my glass, on my windshield. Well, windshield guy came. He told me, he's like, man, I don't see any watermarks, because had it been from the seals, you would have watermarks on the inside of your glass. The root of the problem actually ended up being my lights on the cab. So the lights on my cab, the seal around it had worn out. So when it rains, water is just seeping in, and it'll come from probably right above my dash or something like that. So know your truck, know the issues with it, stay up to date on the issues with it. Don't be afraid to ask someone for help if you need it. And talk to the mechanics, talk to the people that's working on your truck. Try to learn more from them. The more you learn from them, the more you'll know going forward. All right, and so the last thing that I kind of want to talk to you guys about, outside of planning your trips, knowing your vehicle, one thing that's big for rookie drivers like myself is this is our first time doing a lot of different things. Even though we went through drive school and we went through training with people, now we're on our own. Now it's up to our noodle to figure stuff out. And so one thing I want guys to know, and this could be it for life in general, but don't make a bad day worse. And what I mean by that is, trucking is a lot of moving parts. You got to worry about your tractor, you got to worry about your trailer, you got to make sure under your hood is good, you got to make sure the tires are good, you got to make sure you're coupled correctly, you got to make sure things are properly greased, you got to make things sure are properly mounted and secured. I know y'all get that from drive school. You got to make sure the tires inflated, you got to make sure the tread depth is okay, and then that's without even have to worry about whatever you're carrying, making sure that's secure, making sure the temperatures are right if you're running a reefer, or it's strapped down correctly if you're running a flatbed. A lot of different things that you got to worry about. And so with that, some things can fall through the cracks, or some things just can happen just like in a normal car. You wake up and your tire's flat, you go around the corner and your car stops. Those type of things do happen to trucks as well. And why I say don't make a bad day worse is because when those things happen, it might not be of any fault of your own, but you're expected to make deliveries in a timely manner, hit time windows, get the job done by any means. And that's kind of the mindset a lot of truckers have. Well, while that is true and while you should strive for that, don't make one of those instances where something bad happened put more stress on you, and to where you put yourself in a bigger bind by trying to do something that you could have avoided. And so my example with that is just last week I had a load where one of my trailer tires blew out. Rear outer trailer tire blew out, and it's no fault of my own. I checked the tires before, when I pre-tripped the truck. I made sure they were inflated. The only thing I could say is that the tire was probably very low on tread, and with that, it's one of those things where it's like, I don't necessarily change the tires. I don't have the same trailer every day, so it's kind of up to, you're at the mercy of whoever had the truck last to point that out, so that they can put a new tire on there before they give you a load on that trailer, or even on your tractor. You have to make sure that you're keeping up with that. And so it was one of those things where it was just probably a bad luck of the draw, and the tire blew out for whatever reason. And my company, they take care of all the mechanic stuff. They send people out to fix it wherever I'm at and things like that. But we only have so many hours to drive in a day. We have certain time windows that we need to hit. And so that feeling, especially of me just getting on my own, was like, man, I need to make sure, even with this 2-hour delay, I still hitting my time windows. I'm still getting everything done that I need to get done. And for the most part, it could have went that way, or maybe I would have, instead of making 6 deliveries, made 5. But I could have got most of the day done had I just gone about my normal routines, did everything how I normally do it. But instead, I tried to rush. Instead, I tried to cut corners and do things that might have been unsafe or unnecessary. Well, what that did was, the first few stops went very smooth, knocking them out. But I came upon a stop where things kind of turned for me. I mean, I had stuff falling over in the truck. I had just a lot of bad luck all at once, and it all stemmed from me trying to rush. And so the final thing that kind of happened was I came up to a building that I thought I could go around due to, you know, it being a shopping center, and I just misjudged it, and I probably wouldn't have even attempted to make this maneuver had I been on time or had I hadn't had my tire blow out. But I'm putting that pressure on myself to try to get in and get out as quickly as possible, and I ended up getting the truck stuck. It just is what it is. You know, now it wasn't a bad thing. I didn't hit anything. I didn't mess anything up on the truck. I didn't mess anything up on the building. The most that was left was some tire marks in the grass, but that shut my day down right there. I got 4 out of the 6 stops done. Could have easily gotten the 5th stop done, and I may have had to stop at the 5th stop, but that was no fault of my own because I was already 2 hours behind. Had I had those 2 hours, I definitely would have got all 6 stops done. They understood that, but then when you throw in the fact that you get stuck when it's basically your fault, and you only were able to get 4 stores done, now things starting to look worse on you. So I just want to let y'all know that, you know, you're gonna have those days out here. Things aren't always gonna be easy. Things aren't always gonna be simple, but don't make a bad day worse than what it is, because that's how you get, you know, the frustration levels, and that's how you could, you know, luckily for me, mine wasn't a accident or a fatality or anything like that, but that's how you can land yourself in some of those situations, trying to run too fast and your brakes give out, and now you're in a situation where you might, you know, hit someone or hit something unnecessarily and cause injury to someone else or yourself. You know, and it's just a myriad of other things like that that can happen out here on the road. So that's my final tidbit for y'all, man. Didn't want to make this video too long, but I did want to share those thoughts with y'all. I got more content coming up in the coming weeks, and especially now that I'm on my own, seeing more things, meeting more people, doing more stuff. And hey, I appreciate y'all rocking with me. It's your boy Zach, aka Big Crumb Man. Salute. I'm gonna see y'all next time. Picture this, let them know I'm back.